This client of mine has 10 million subscribers, as you can see here pretty clearly. I'm not bullshitting you. This is an actual channel that I'm inside, but I can't show you the channel name for a bunch of reasons. But here's the thing. They're starting a different channel in a different niche completely. And they were asking me how to ensure that your videos get views. So they're not a faceless channel. They're no, stupid like automation bullshit. No, none of that shit, right? They're a real person. But they want to start a second channel, and they were facing the issue where the second channel wasn't getting views. And so they want to scale it, they want to make money from it. And they asked me how to come up with video ideas, or at least how to come up with better video ideas. And what I explained to them is something that I think will help a lot of people. So I'm just going to repeat that information here. So for them, what I did was I just broke down some of the channels that I see have worked and have not worked. And a great example of this is Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, everyone fucking knows him, right? If you don't know him, well, you're living in the gutter. I don't fucking know. Or you're watching the wrong video, my dude, if you're watching me and you don't know Hormozi. For sure, for a fact. But anyways, Alex Hormozi has a channel that has 2.6 million subscribers. He has uploaded 2,900 videos in the last 6 years. But he's got some banger videos with 3 million views. He's got some shorts that have, pulled like 6, 7 million views, maybe 8 million. So he's definitely somebody that you should think would know what YouTube is like, right? He would know definitely how YouTube works. But then there's a fundamental flaw here. How come his second channel, or rather third channel, because his wife also has a channel, but like their second channel, run by the exact same team, right? Alex Hormozi's team, he pays them, I think, $120,000 a month or some crazy shit like that. And how come is that team not able to replicate that success here? 98,000 subscribers, 2,200 videos, and yet the channel has been abandoned after a year of consistently videos being uploaded here. So what happened? Why did they decide to abandon this channel? Is it working that poorly? Yes, it is. So why is that the case? This is what brings us to the point of how to know if a video is going to work or not. At least not 100% with certainty can anybody tell you a video is going to work or not, but I can definitely say that there are certain kinds of formats and certain kinds of video ideas and certain kinds of topics that are more likely to work than others. So for example, if I look at Alex Hormozi reveals the blueprint to go from broke to rich. Okay. Who is the likely audience to watch this? It's somebody who knows Alex Hormozi. Whereas on the main channel, what they're doing is, stuff that 2 million extra profit. Here's how, a full case study. It's appealing to somebody who doesn't even know who Hormozi is. Is that the only issue? Not really. But it is part of a larger issue where when you say Alex Hormozi reveals the blueprint to go from broke to rich. Let's say I go up to a random person on the street. Okay. A random ass person on the street. And I tell them, hey dude, Alex Hormozi revealed the blueprint to go from broke to rich. The first question they'll ask me is, who is Alex Hormozi? Why should I care? Otherwise, they'll just ignore me. Whereas if I go up to somebody and I say, I made $2 million in extra profit. Here's how. I'll show you the full case study. They are way more likely to want to keep listening. And they'll ask follow-up questions like, what do you mean $2 million in profit in 1 month, in a year? How did you do it? What can I do? And then the thumbnail also says, steal this fix. Whereas here the thumbnail says, ask yourself those 3 questions. Which one are you more likely to want to pay attention to, right? This is something called remarkability of ideas. Remarkability essentially means when you go up to a person and you tell them this idea, how likely are they to make a remark in exchange for you telling them the idea? How likely are they to care and want to know more? And you can see this almost across any YouTube channel. You can even see this across Layla's videos. Layla Hormozi, Alex Hormozi's wife. If you see the videos that have worked the best, they are the ones that make you ask the most number of questions. How I brainwashed myself to success from broke to $100 million. And the transformation looks absolutely fucking crazy, right? It's that transformation that makes you think, is it that changing how she looked changed how much money she made? Is it her habits? Like, what did what did she do? Is it plastic surgery? Like, what the fuck happened here? Did she lose weight and then become successful? And can I do it the same? This also brings up another point, which is Alex Hormozi should know this, but there's something called the value equation that I think a lot of people know about. That is something that Alex Hormozi himself popularized as a concept. I need to open up the image, otherwise, okay. There we go. That's a lot of work to open up an image, but here we go. So the value equation, dream outcome multiplied by perceived likelihood of achievement of the outcome, the whole thing divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice. This is a formula that I've started using for a lot of my clients and in general for myself, in general for video ideas and titles, and it's proven to work a lot better than a lot of other formulas that I've tried before. Why does this work? Because what you really want to do is increase the dream outcome of the person and increase the perceived likelihood of achievement of that outcome and decrease the amount of time that they expect they're going to need to get there and decrease the amount of effort and sacrifice. So if you look at this video, for example, how I brainwash myself to success, when you say the word brainwash, the perceived likelihood of achievement seems like I can do this too. I can brainwash myself too. So the likelihood of achievement goes up by a ton. And effort and sacrifice also seems to, brainwashing yourself versus changing who you are as a person, changing your habits. Brainwashing is so much easier to do. So it feels like effort and sacrifice reduced. Time delay is not affected that much just because the thumbnail shows a massive transformation. But regardless, just because this factor is increased, the multiplication, the value that you get at the end is going to be a lot better. Also, the effort and sacrifice is reduced to almost like 1%, let's say. In your mind, you think, okay, I'm just going to have to put in 1% effort compared to what everybody else tells me. Then if you look at this one too, if I was starting a company in 2024, this is what I do. Full $0 to $100 million guide. You don't need money, the thumbnail says. Now, when again, you see you don't need money, feels like, okay, effort and sacrifice is reduced. Perceived likelihood of achievement goes up because I don't need money. What's there to lose? I'm more likely to succeed. Dream outcome is definitely $100 million. So that's a pretty big dream outcome. And the time delay is not really mentioned. But again, it's not necessary if the other factors sort of balance it, right? If the time delay stays the same, but then the effort and sacrifice is reduced, the equation already works better. It's just simple math, really. I hope you know math. And if you look at like this channel too, the most popular stuff is still not as remarkable. It's still not as mass appealing. If you go to a random person and say Alex Hormozi's advice on branding in 2023, they don't know who the fuck Hormozi is, or they don't care about branding. But if you go to his most popular videos on his main channel, how to get so rich you question the meaning of making money, that's for everyone, right? So that's why this is a video that worked well. And that's really the two core fundamentals of titles and video ideas is how remarkable is the idea and how likely is it that somebody, when they hears it, is going to want to ask more and more and more questions. I can show you another example of this. Danko, if you know Danko. He has a beautiful example here. So he's in the self-help niche, talks about how to be more successful, pretty similar to Hormozi, but a different kind of personality. His most popular video is this one, right? The thumbnail says, create an anti-vision. And the title says, how to get ahead of 99% of people in 6 to 12 months. Now, this does two things. Create an anti-vision is something that you've never heard before. So when somebody says, dude, if you create an anti-vision, you can get ahead of 99% of people in 6 to 12 months. People in exchange are gonna most likely make a remark and ask, what's an anti-vision? And that is probably the first thing that also came to my mind when I saw this thumbnail in front of me is, what is an anti-vision? Why should I create one? What will I really achieve if I create one? How will I get ahead of 99% of people? Is it in terms of money? Is it in terms of like, what do you mean? But then this also fulfills the other thing that I was talking about, right? The dream outcome is getting ahead of everyone, probably means success. Everybody wants success. The dream outcome is success in whatever way you imagine it to be. Perceived likelihood of achievement also seems to be pretty good because it's getting ahead of 99% of people. If he's using a number, it probably means he's pretty certain, right? 99% chance, I guess, if you think about it. Time delay, 6 to 12 months. Effort and sacrifice is not exactly mentioned, but it's fine because the rest of the things sort of make the equation become pretty strong. You can almost put this in numerical values as well. Dream outcome from a scale of 1 to 100. How good is the dream outcome? Perceived likelihood of achievement in terms of 100 percentage. How likely is it? What percentage is somebody going to imagine when they see this title and thumbnail? Time delay, you can also put in numbers, right? It's how many days, let's say. Effort and sacrifice, let's say it's amount of money and also amount of hours required. But that's really how you want to see coming up with ideas is of course, this is not everything and this is not a guaranteed formula like combining remarkability and the value equation by Alex Hormozi is definitely not a guaranteed formula, but you can see with every example that it sort of does work. And you can see this with videos that haven't worked. They are not as remarkable or they don't have as much value at the end of it because the dream outcome might be low and the perceived likelihood of achievement might be low, but the time delay and effort and sacrifice might be increased, or even worse, you don't have any of these 4 things mentioned at all in the title and thumbnail. So yeah, that's just some things. I hope this helps anybody, if anybody is watching, and if you want to work with me, you can check the link in the description. I hope I don't forget to put the link there. But yeah, bye-bye.